if I move to move. Hi. Let's just start this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this first poem is a poem to my psychiatrist, Dr. Possick. And in Tibetan Buddhism, there's this thing where a monk will reincarnate after he dies, and his old student will find him and become his teacher. So these two human beings will be locked in this reincarnation cycle, where they'll be teaching one another sort of what they've taught one another forever. And I sort of imagine that maybe my shrink would reincarnate as my patient if I was a psychiatrist, and that we might have a psychoanalytic relationship like the Tibetan lamas do. But the decidedly un-Buddhist nature of psychoanalysis made me think there needs to be justification for this divinely somehow. That's empirical. So thinking about cognitive, not all the introductions are going to be this long, by the way. Thinking about cognitive science, I thought, the brains and computers and everything is just binary. It's just systems of interrelated on and off switches. And that's sort of like what a speaking voice and a silent voice is like. And human beings, as they interact, create a very basic kind of binary. And maybe if you globalize that, there's a meta-consciousness made out of all of us. And maybe my shrink and I talking to each other is a very important part of this God consciousness. And that is why we so reincarnate. So this poem is called Poem in Which My Shrink is a Little Boy. And the lamas, the way they find their old students is they lay out stuff for belonging to the person from the past life. And when you choose that thing out of a bunch of random stuff, that's how you know it's the old person come back to life. Poem in Which My Shrink is a Little Boy. Pick which is yours, I say. Wordlessly you take the legal pad, his old legal pad, from a glass table between us. My excitement mounting, I pluck down a block of toffee, a box of Tic Tacs, and a husk of Listerine pocket pack fresh strips. You reach for the fresh strips, his fresh strips. Welcome back, Doc. What a strapping young lad you've chosen for a body. Let me explain. You're the reincarnation of my psychoanalyst. For all eternity, we've switched off as patient and doctor, our souls twinned through countless bodies. Your gift for gab is cosmically important. And just like neurons fire into a mind, part habit and part chaos, so too the world's voices fire into a God. Our chats are as important to God as your thalamus is to you. He can't risk us not analyzing one another forever. He might have a seizure. If this doesn't make sense yet, don't worry. Tell me about your day, and I will tell you about your day until it is our day. The boys at school teased you for your Velcro shoes. I'm sorry, but you'll never outgrow them. Last life you were at the zoo, and a monkey tied together your laces. You fell on your face, and the monkey laughed at you, but despite your threats, you never started eating meat. Things don't change unless we want them to. And why would we want to give up little things we know when we know so little? This next poem